Every day, millions of people swallow magnesium supplements, hoping for more energy, better sleep, or stronger muscles. But what if I told you that most of them aren't getting the results they think they are? According to research from the National Institutes of Health, nearly half of adults over 50 are taking some form of magnesium. Yet, the majority still show signs of cellular deficiency. How can that be? The answer, as Dr. Peter Attia, one of the leading physicians in longevity and metabolic health, explains, is simple but often ignored. You can't supplement your way out of poor nutrition. Magnesium is essential. It helps your muscles contract, your heart beat, and your cells produce energy. It's involved in more than 300 reactions inside your body. But here's the truth that most supplement ads never tell you. Taking a pill doesn't guarantee that your body can absorb or use it. In fact, many forms of magnesium found in cheap supplements, like magnesium oxide, are poorly absorbed, leaving your muscles just as tired, your sleep just as restless, and your energy just as low. And that's exactly why Dr. Attia focuses not on pills, but on real food sources, natural, nutrient-rich foods that deliver magnesium in a form your body actually recognizes and uses. Because when you get magnesium from the right foods, you don't just support your muscles, you rebuild their strength at a cellular level. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover why magnesium from whole foods outperforms most supplements, how it helps you recover faster, sleep deeper, and even protect your heart as you age. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods Dr. Peter Attia recommends to rebuild muscle naturally, without wasting another dollar on pills that don't work. If you've walked through any pharmacy lately, you've probably noticed magnesium is everywhere. Capsules, powders, sprays, gummies, each one promising to fix your sleep, boost your energy, and relax your muscles. And it's not your imagination. Magnesium has become one of the most marketed supplements in the world. But here's what most people don't realize. The magnesium boom didn't start in hospitals or research labs. It started in marketing offices. According to a report from the Council for Responsible Nutrition, supplement sales in the United States hit over $55 billion last year, with magnesium leading the mineral category. Yet, despite this surge, studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that more than 60% of adults still have low magnesium at a cellular level. So what's going on? Dr. Peter Attia, physician and expert in longevity and metabolic health, has a clear explanation. He says, most people think supplements fill nutritional gaps. But if your lifestyle is draining magnesium faster than you replace it, pills alone won't help. And that's the real story. Modern life burns through magnesium at a record pace. Stress, caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, and lack of sleep all strip your cells of this essential mineral. So even if you take a supplement in the morning, your body might already be losing it by the afternoon. The result? You stay trapped in the same loop, fatigued, restless, and convinced you need more pills. Dr. Attia's approach is different. He doesn't dismiss supplements, but he calls them secondary tools, not the foundation. The real solution, he says, starts with what you eat, because magnesium works best when it's paired with real food, healthy fats, and stable blood sugar. And that's where most people miss the mark. In the next section, we'll look at what magnesium actually does inside your body, and why it's one of the most critical minerals for building and preserving muscle as you age. So, what exactly does magnesium do inside your body? Most people know it's important, but few truly understand how deeply it affects nearly every system that keeps you alive and strong. Dr. Peter Attia, one of America's leading physicians in longevity and metabolic health, often refers to magnesium as the spark plug of your cells, because without it, energy simply can't ignite. Here's how it works. Every time your muscles contract, whether you're walking, lifting, or even breathing, magnesium and calcium work together in perfect balance. Calcium tells your muscle fibers to tighten, magnesium tells them to relax. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can't fully release. They stay tense, sore, and fatigued. Over time, that chronic tension leads to stiffness, pain, and slower recovery. But magnesium's role goes far beyond your muscles. It's also at the heart of energy production, literally. Inside every cell of your body, tiny structures called mitochondria act like microscopic engines. They take the food you eat and convert it into ATP, the molecule that powers every function in your body. And guess what? Magnesium is needed to activate ATP. Without enough magnesium, your cells can't fully unlock the energy stored in your food. That's why fatigue and low endurance are two of the first signs of deficiency. Dr. Attia explains it this way. You can have a perfect diet and still feel drained if your cells don't have enough magnesium to convert nutrients into usable energy. And this is especially critical as we age, because your muscles naturally lose some of their efficiency over time. Your cells become less responsive, your mitochondria less active. Magnesium helps slow that decline by improving insulin sensitivity, supporting oxygen delivery, and reducing inflammation, all key factors in maintaining strength after 60. In fact, a large study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults with optimal magnesium levels had significantly better muscle mass, grip strength, and walking speed than those with deficiencies. And that's exactly why Dr. Attia emphasizes foundational minerals before chasing exotic supplements or shortcuts. Because if your body doesn't have magnesium, the engine doesn't start. In the next part of this video, we'll uncover why so many magnesium supplements fail and why your body may not be absorbing what you're giving it, even if you're taking it every single day. Here's something most supplement companies will never tell you. Taking magnesium doesn't automatically mean your body is using it. You might swallow 400 milligrams a day, but if your digestive system can't absorb it properly, you're not fueling your muscles. You're just creating expensive urine. And that's not a joke. It's biology. Dr. Peter Attia, a longevity physician known for his evidence-based approach, explains that magnesium absorption is highly dependent on the type of compound, gut health, and nutrient balance. In his clinical work, he's seen countless patients show normal magnesium blood levels, yet still struggle with muscle weakness, poor recovery, or irregular sleep. Why? Because those blood tests only show what's floating in circulation, not what's actually getting inside your cells, where the real magic happens. Magnesium oxide, for example, one of the cheapest and most common forms sold, has an absorption rate of barely 4%. That means for every 100 milligrams you take, your body may only use 4. Other forms like magnesium citrate or glycinate do better, but even then, the body can't store large amounts at once. If you don't pair magnesium intake with the right cofactors, like vitamin D, potassium, or healthy fats, much of it goes unused. And there's another layer to this problem, the modern gut. Years of processed food, low fiber, and chronic stress disrupt the intestinal lining, reducing the efficiency of nutrient absorption overall. Dr. Attia often says you can't supplement your way out of a broken system, meaning if your lifestyle and diet are constantly working against you, no amount of capsules will fix the root issue. For example, high caffeine intake and alcohol both cause magnesium to be excreted through urine more rapidly. Sugar spikes and insulin resistance further drain your reserves. So while you're adding magnesium from one end, your habits are leaking it from the other. A review from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirms what Attia warns about. Most adults absorb less than half of the magnesium they consume, and older adults often absorb even less. So when people ask why their supplements don't seem to work, the answer isn't lack of willpower. It's lack of bioavailability. The truth is, supplements can help, but only when they support a foundation of nutrient-dense foods and balanced. When you stop relying on pills and start getting magnesium from real food, something remarkable begins to happen inside your body. Your energy feels different. Your muscles recover faster. Your sleep becomes deeper. And for the first time in years, Your mornings don't start with fatigue, they start with strength. That's because food-based magnesium doesn't just enter your body, it communicates with it. Dr. Peter Attia explains that nutrients from food are biologically active. They come bundled with other compounds like polyphenols, healthy fats, and amino acids that enhance their absorption and effectiveness. Think of it like a well-trained orchestra. Each nutrient, magnesium, potassium, omega-3s, plays its own part, but when they perform together, the result is harmony. Supplements, on the other hand, are like a single instrument playing out of tune, isolated, unbalanced, and often ignored by the body. So, what changes when you correct a magnesium deficiency naturally? First, your energy metabolism improves. Every cell in your muscles uses magnesium to activate ATP, the molecule that powers life. When magnesium levels rise naturally, ATP production becomes more efficient, meaning more energy for movement, recovery, and even brain function. Second, your muscle recovery accelerates. Dr. Attia emphasizes that magnesium helps reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, the two main reasons why muscles stay sore after exercise. A study from the Journal of Physiology showed that athletes with higher magnesium intake experienced up to 30% faster recovery in muscle performance compared to those on low magnesium diets. Third, your sleep and hormones stabilize. Magnesium naturally regulates melatonin and GABA, the neurotransmitters that calm your nervous system. When your magnesium comes from real food, these calming effects happen gradually and consistently, without the crashes or dependency that many supplements create. And finally, your heart becomes stronger. Magnesium relaxes the smooth muscles in your blood vessels, improving circulation and lowering blood pressure. This is one reason Peter Attia constantly reminds his patients that heart health and muscle health are deeply connected. Both rely on how efficiently your body manages energy and recovery. He says, now that we understand why magnesium from food is more powerful than any supplement, let's talk about where to find it. According to Dr. Peter Attia, the best way to restore your magnesium levels isn't through powders or capsules. It's through consistent, nutrient-dense meals that deliver magnesium in its most bioavailable form. He says, food is information. Every bite you take tells your body what to build, what to repair, and what to protect. So if you want to rebuild muscle naturally and protect your longevity, these are the foods you should prioritize, backed by both clinical evidence and the nutritional philosophy Dr. Attia lives by. Number 1. Almonds and other nuts. Almonds, cashews, and Brazil nuts are packed with magnesium, but also contain healthy fats and proteins that help transport it into your cells. They provide a slow, steady release of energy and improve insulin sensitivity, something Attia emphasizes as key for maintaining muscle mass as we age. A single handful of almonds, about 1 ounce, gives you roughly 80 milligrams of magnesium, nearly 20% of your daily needs. Number 2, leafy greens like spinach and kale. These are nature's real multivitamins. Their green pigment, chlorophyll, contains magnesium at its core molecule, meaning every leaf literally holds magnesium at its center. Dr. Attia often points out that when you eat greens, you're feeding your mitochondria because these plants support both magnesium intake and cellular respiration. A study published in Nutrients found that people who consumed leafy greens daily had 25% better muscle performance and fewer cramps than those who didn't. Number 3, avocado. Beyond being delicious, avocados are one of the most balanced foods on the planet, rich in magnesium, potassium, and monounsaturated fats. These nutrients work together to support hydration, nerve function, and muscle contraction. Peter Attia calls it a longevity food because it stabilizes energy and reduces post-meal glucose spikes, a major factor in preventing insulin resistance and muscle loss. Number 4, dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao. This one surprises most people. Real, high-quality dark chocolate is one of the densest sources of magnesium in the diet. 2 small squares can deliver nearly 20% of your daily requirement, along with polyphenols that reduce oxidative stress. Dr. Attia often mentions that small indulgences like this, when chosen wisely, create consistency, because health isn't about restriction, it's about sustainability. Number 5, fatty fish like salmon and mackerel. These not only provide magnesium, but also omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and protect your heart. The combination supports muscle recovery and vascular health, both crucial for longevity. And finally, number 6, pumpkin seeds. Just 1 ounce, a small handful, provides more than 150 milligrams of magnesium, plus zinc, iron, and antioxidants that strengthen your immune system and muscle fibers. Peter Attia calls these foods nutrient multipliers because they don't just supply magnesium, they amplify other nutrients' effects in your body. When you build your meals around these foods, almonds, spinach, avocado, dark chocolate, salmon, and pumpkin seeds, you're not only replacing a supplement, you're creating a biological environment that supports energy, balance, and muscle longevity from the inside out. And the best part? These foods are easy to find, affordable, and incredibly versatile. So instead of swallowing another capsule, imagine building a day around these natural powerhouses. A spinach omelet for breakfast, an avocado and salmon salad for lunch, a handful of almonds in the afternoon, and a little dark chocolate after dinner. That's not a diet. That's a daily act of self-care. As Dr. Attia says, longevity isn't about living longer. It's about living better, with the energy to do the things you love for as long as you can. In the next section, we'll explore how magnesium doesn't work alone, and how pairing it with protein creates one of the most powerful muscle. If there's one message Dr. Peter Attia repeats more than any other, it's this: muscle is the organ of longevity. And that's because strong, functional muscle isn't just about appearance. It's a biological insurance policy. It protects your metabolism, your balance, your brain, and even your independence as you age. But here's what most people don't realize. Magnesium and protein are like teammates in that mission. They work together at every stage of muscle health. Think of magnesium as the key that turns on the machinery, and protein as the building blocks that get assembled. Without the key, the machinery never starts, and without the building blocks, nothing gets built. Dr. Attia often explains that after the age of 40, your ability to synthesize muscle gradually declines, something called anabolic resistance. What this means is that your muscles become less responsive to protein intake alone. You can eat the same meal you did at 25, but your body simply doesn't build as much new muscle from it. That's where magnesium becomes essential. It helps activate enzymes responsible for protein synthesis, the process that converts amino acids from your food into new muscle fibers. In one study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who combined adequate magnesium intake with higher protein diets showed significantly greater lean muscle mass and strength than those who focused on protein alone. Peter Attia points out that this combination is what keeps people active later in life. He says, if you want to live longer, maintain the ability to get up off the floor without using your hands. That's real health span. Magnesium ensures that every gram of protein you eat actually reaches the muscle cells that need it. It improves insulin sensitivity, meaning your body can shuttle amino acids into muscle tissue more efficiently. So, what does this look like in practice? Dr. Attia recommends building meals that combine both elements: nutrient-dense protein with magnesium-rich foods. For example, a salmon and avocado bowl, Greek yogurt topped with pumpkin seeds, or a spinach omelet with a sprinkle of dark chocolate cacao nibs afterward. These pairings don't just taste amazing, they create biochemical synergy. Magnesium helps the body recover after resistance training, reduces inflammation, and regulates hormones like testosterone and IGF-1, both critical for maintaining muscle tissue as we age. Meanwhile, protein provides the amino acids that fuel growth, repair, and metabolic stability. Together they form a cycle of renewal: energy to train, recovery to rebuild, and strength to keep moving forward. And this is where Attia's longevity philosophy truly shines. He often says that muscle preservation is the single greatest predictor of long-term vitality. You don't lose muscle because you get old, he says. You get old because you lose muscle. That's why every meal, every small choice matters. Because when you combine the right nutrients, your body doesn't just survive aging, it adapts to it. In the next section, we'll talk about the silent habits that can undo all this progress, the lifestyle choices that secretly drain your magnesium and make it harder to keep the muscle and energy you're working for. You can eat perfectly. You can include all the right foods, almonds, spinach, salmon, even dark chocolate. But if your daily habits are quietly draining your magnesium, your progress will stall. Dr. Peter Attia often reminds his patients, health isn't only about what you add, it's about what you stop subtracting. And that's where most people fail, because even the best nutrition can't compete with the silent habits that steal your minerals day after day. Let's look at the biggest culprits. Number 1, stress. Chronic stress is one of the fastest ways to deplete magnesium. Every time you experience anxiety, frustration, or emotional tension, your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline, hormones that trigger your body's fight-or-flight response. Those hormones make your kidneys flush out magnesium through urine. Over time, this leads to fatigue, irritability, and even muscle tightness, the very symptoms many people try to fix with supplements. Dr. Attia explains that stress doesn't just affect the mind, it creates biochemical debt. You're burning through resources faster than your body can replace them. Number 2, caffeine and alcohol. Both of these act as diuretics, meaning they increase urine output, forcing your body to lose electrolytes like magnesium and potassium. 1 cup of coffee isn't the problem, but when coffee becomes a substitute for sleep and wine becomes a substitute for relaxation, the balance collapses. Peter Attia often says most people are overcaffeinated, underhydrated, and sleep-deprived, a perfect storm for mineral loss. Number 3, sugar and insulin resistance. This one is subtle but powerful. High blood sugar forces your kidneys to work harder, which increases magnesium excretion. Over time, low magnesium worsens insulin resistance, the same condition that increases the risk of diabetes, obesity, and muscle breakdown. Dr. Attia's research in metabolic health shows that magnesium deficiency and insulin resistance often feed each other, creating a loop that accelerates aging and fatigue. Number 4, poor sleep. It might seem unrelated, but sleep is when your body repairs muscle tissue and restores electrolyte balance. When you consistently get less than 7 hours, cortisol levels rise and magnesium stores fall. That's why Attia focuses heavily on sleep optimization. It's one of the most underrated longevity tools. He explains that rest is when your biology rebuilds. Without recovery, nutrition can't do its job. Number 5, overtraining without proper recovery. Exercise is good, but excessive, high-intensity training without enough rest can drain your minerals. Every time you sweat, you lose electrolytes, including magnesium. Dr. Attia calls this the longevity paradox, where people chasing health through overexertion end up depleting the very systems that sustain it. The solution isn't to stop moving, it's to recover smarter. Combine movement with hydration, deep sleep, and magnesium-rich meals afterward. Number 6, medications. Certain drugs like diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, and even some antibiotics can lower magnesium levels over time. Attia encourages patients to monitor mineral balance if they're taking long-term medications, always under medical supervision. All these habits have one thing in common. They create invisible leaks in your energy system. You might not feel them immediately, but over months or years they accumulate, and your body starts signaling distress through muscle cramps, fatigue, and mental fog. The good news? Every one of these leaks can be fixed. Peter Attia's framework is simple. Lower stress through consistent exercise and controlled breathing. Replace caffeine with hydration breaks. Prioritize sleep as a core health metric, not a luxury. Choose whole foods before supplements. He often says, if you fix your habits, your body will fix itself. And when you do, magnesium levels rise naturally, not just in your bloodstream, but inside your cells, where it truly matters. In the next section, we'll bring all of this together and show you how to apply Attia's approach in a simple daily plan. How to eat, move, and recover in a way that rebuilds muscle, restores energy, and keeps your magnesium levels optimized for life. Number 4, poor sleep. It might seem unrelated, but sleep is when your body repairs muscle tissue and restores electrolyte balance. When you consistently get less than 7 hours, cortisol levels rise and magnesium stores fall. That's why Attia focuses heavily on sleep optimization. It's one of the most underrated longevity tools. He explains that rest is when your biology rebuilds. Without recovery, nutrition can't do its job. Number 5, overtraining without proper recovery. Exercise is good, but excessive, high-intensity training without enough rest can drain your minerals. Every time you sweat, you lose electrolytes, including magnesium. Dr. Attia calls this the longevity paradox, where people chasing health through overexertion end up depleting the very systems that sustain it. The solution isn't to stop moving, it's to recover smarter. Combine movement with hydration, deep sleep, and magnesium-rich meals afterward. Number 6, medications. Certain drugs like diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, and even some antibiotics can lower magnesium levels over time. Attia encourages patients to monitor mineral balance if they're taking long-term medications, always under medical supervision. All these habits have one thing in common. They create invisible leaks in your energy system. You might not feel them immediately, but over months or years they accumulate, and your body starts signaling distress through muscle cramps, fatigue, and mental fog. The good news? Every one of these leaks can be fixed. Peter Attia's framework is simple. Lower stress through consistent exercise and controlled breathing. Replace caffeine with hydration breaks. Prioritize sleep as a core health metric, not a luxury. Choose whole foods before supplements. He often says, if you fix your habits, your body will fix itself. And when you do, magnesium levels rise naturally, not just in your bloodstream, but inside your cells, where it truly matters. In the next section, we'll bring all of this together and show you how to apply Attia's approach in a simple daily plan. How to eat, move, and recover in a way that rebuilds muscle, restores energy, and keeps your magnesium levels optimized for life. Now that we've uncovered how magnesium works, where to find it, and what drains it, let's bring everything together into something you can actually do, starting today. Dr. Peter Attia often says that longevity isn't built in a single choice. It's built in thousands of small, consistent ones. So here's what a magnesium-optimized, Attia-inspired day looks like. A simple structure to rebuild muscle, boost recovery, and keep your energy steady. Morning. Rebuild and activate. Start your day hydrated, before coffee. A glass of mineral water with a pinch of sea salt provides electrolytes and helps your cells absorb magnesium more efficiently. For breakfast, choose whole, protein-rich meals that combine magnesium and amino acids, like a spinach omelet cooked in olive oil or Greek yogurt topped with pumpkin seeds and a few slices of avocado. Dr. Attia's advice here is simple. Eat protein early. It sets the tone for energy, appetite, and focus throughout the day. Avoid the quick-carb breakfasts. They spike insulin, drain minerals, and leave you hungry again in 2 hours. Midday. Move and recover. Movement is one of the most effective ways to keep magnesium inside your cells because exercise improves insulin sensitivity and blood flow. You don't need a gym or heavy weights. Attia recommends Zone 2 training, steady, moderate exercise like brisk walking, light cycling, or swimming, about 45 minutes a day. This kind of movement increases your mitochondria's efficiency, the same way magnesium supports energy production. After exercise, focus on recovery. Drink water with electrolytes. Eat a meal rich in protein and magnesium, like grilled salmon with steamed greens. And rest. Recovery is not optional. It's part of the training. Afternoon. Manage stress and protect energy. Stress is a magnesium thief, so reclaim control with short breaks. Deep breathing, sunlight exposure, or even a short walk helps lower cortisol and restore balance. Dr. Attia emphasizes mental fitness as much as physical. If your mind is chaotic, your biochemistry will be too. Instead of reaching for caffeine mid-afternoon, have a handful of almonds or a piece of dark chocolate. These small habits maintain energy without draining minerals. Evening, rebuild while you sleep. Magnesium does its best work at night. During sleep, your body restores glycogen, repairs muscle fibers, and resets hormones. A magnesium-rich dinner might include roasted vegetables with olive oil, lean protein, and a side of quinoa or lentils. These foods provide both the mineral and the fiber that supports gut health, a key factor for proper absorption. Avoid alcohol close to bedtime, since it disrupts magnesium retention and REM sleep. Before going to bed, Dr. Attia suggests one of the simplest yet most powerful longevity habits: gratitude reflection. Just 2 minutes thinking about what went right today, not what went wrong, lowers stress hormones and improves heart rate variability, a strong indicator of recovery and resilience. This isn't just a wellness routine. It's biochemistry guided by mindfulness. Because, as Peter Attia says, what you do daily becomes your health span. When you live this way, hydrating well, eating real food, managing stress, and resting deeply, your magnesium levels rise naturally. Your body starts working with you, not against you. And in that harmony between nourishment, movement, and rest, that's where real longevity begins. If you've made it this far, it says something powerful about you. You're not just watching another health video. You're taking responsibility for your future. And that's exactly what Dr. Peter Attia stands for. He's not here to sell quick fixes or miracle pills. He's here to teach people how to build a foundation, a life where energy, strength, and clarity come from within, not from a supplement bottle. When you understand what we've talked about today, how magnesium fuels your muscles, how stress depletes it, and how real foods can restore it, something changes inside you. You stop chasing health and you start building it. Because every healthy meal, every walk, every night of deep sleep, these aren't small actions. They're investments in your future self. Dr. Attia often says longevity is earned, not inherited. And that's what this is really about. You don't need a shelf full of supplements. You need knowledge, consistency, and self-respect, the kind that comes from making better choices every day. So when you wake up tomorrow, remember this: your body is not broken. It's responsive. It listens to everything you do. Feed it the right foods: almonds, greens, salmon, avocados. Move it with purpose. Rest it with compassion. And with time, your muscles, your mind, and your energy will respond, because biology always rewards balance. As Dr. Peter Attia reminds us, the best version of yourself isn't a goal, it's a practice. If this video helped you understand your body better, if it gave you clarity, motivation, or a new way to think about your health, share it with someone who needs it: a friend, a parent, or anyone trying to rebuild their strength naturally. And if you want more science-based insights from experts like Dr. Peter Attia, subscribe to this channel. Because each week we bring you practical tools to live longer, move better, and feel younger. No gimmicks, just real evidence. Remember, longevity doesn't happen by accident. It's built one informed choice at a time. So start small. Eat smarter, rest deeper, live fully, and let your strength, physical, mental, and emotional, become the real proof of your longevity.